Welcome back to the Shade Tree Garage, guys, and today I'm going to talk about adding air conditioning to the beast here, my 1955 two-door wagon. Should I spring for the $2,600 vintage air system or the generic $500 12-volt compressor AC system commonly found all over eBay and elsewhere? So we'll come back with my thoughts on that in just a moment. Stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome back. And yeah, it is stifling hot out here. Well, it's mid 80s, but it's humid, 110% humidity here in central Kentucky in mid July. About par for the course, really. Our local fairs starting underway. So, anytime you've got your county fair or state fair, you can count on at least two things happening: thunderstorms and hot weather. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. The Tri-5 Nationals is coming up in the middle of next month. And so I had promised my wife that I would try to get AC installed in the 55 wagon, in the cover shown in the cover back here, in time for the Nationals. Well, as it turns out, she changed jobs not long ago, and she will not be able to go with me to the Nationals. So it looks like I'll be taking my son with me instead. Now, but I've still got this question about AC systems. I had been eyeing the 12-volt AC systems you see all over eBay and Amazon as a measure that would provide cooling for the interior of the wagon. So I have been scouring YouTube for several months, looking at just about every video that seems to focus on installing these 12-volt compressor systems in vehicles. And, everybody seems excited about it when they have it to get it in. But I will tell you, the results are fair to middling, and that's being generous. One YouTuber whose video I saw recently, he said he wouldn't recommend it. Now, he had the system in his Chevelle, I think an early 70s Chevelle, and he drove through the American Southwest, in summertime in it. And he said, we kept the windows up, but we were sweating. Clearly the system wasn't up to keeping the interior of that Chevelle as cool as they would have liked. And of course, if you're in the American Southwest in the summer, I don't know where that, what you should expect anyway. So I have been watching all the YouTube videos I can about this. Almost every person who installs it says, well, I have yet to see the first YouTube video where the installer of a 12-volt compressor system is, yay, it works great, better than I expected, doing handstands and all sorts of celebration about it. Haven't seen that happen. Almost every case, somebody's like, well, it's cooling, it's doing okay. It's there's no moment of joy that the interior of this vehicle it's installed in, the interior of the vehicle it's installed in is, frosty cold now. If they work, there's no doubt about that those systems can work, and they do put out cold air. But for a decent sized vehicle, I think my gut feeling is that they're a disappointment. Now, let's look at the math. My 55 two-door wagon, I would class that about the same interior size as, say, a Yukon or a Tahoe or something, a large SUV. All right, now, and you can do just Google searching on AC for full-size SUVs. And you can get that it ranges from, the cooling needs range from approximately 15,000 to 18,000 BTU. Well, the problem I have run into constantly is making the math work. The 12-volt compressor systems, the math for cooling will not fit the bill. Those systems cooling runs anywhere from 5,500 to 6,500, maybe 7,000 BTU. Now on my wagon, which is 15 to 18, we're looking at less than half the needed cooling for my wagon. So, it makes me wonder, well, what would it be like if I bought it and put it in? Am I going to be sitting in the front seat with reasonably cool air blowing at me, and then the rest of the car is just sweltering hot? How's that going to work? But anyway, I've tried to make the math work. It just isn't. And so I went to now I will tell you, I'm cheap. I am a skinflint, and the idea of spending $2,500 to $2,600 for a vintage air system on my car, no matter how great it is, it's kind of hard to swallow. But then, when you look at the cooling available, it begins to make more sense. And Vintage Air has an excellent page that talks about these new 12-volt compressor systems and why they can't cool a large SUV adequately. And it boils down to the compressors. These systems are generally made with the backup or secondary compressors. These are not primary compressors, say, like the one on your factory-equipped AC vehicle. It's not intended to cool the whole vehicle. These are smaller compressors that just don't have the output needed to the interior of a full-size wagon like I've got. And no amount of creative math I've been able to do makes it work. And so, do I want just cold air blowing in my face and the rest of the vehicle remaining hot and sweltering, or do I want to invest in a system that has a chance at really making it cool inside? And I will tell you, I'm still hesitant. But since my wife isn't going to the Tri-5 Nationals, I'm not under the gun anymore to get something done. But at the same time, I don't know that I want to waste $500 to add something that's inadequate. It's a good deal of time and energy for the do-it-yourselfer, and the do-it-yourselfers can do this. So, with all the facts in front of me, I've decided I cannot purchase the $500 12-volt compressor system with any expectation of the cooling being adequate. And that kind of breaks my heart, because I was hoping to find cooling at a reasonable price. All right, guys. Well, I know some of you have undoubtedly experimented with the 12-volt compressor systems, and I would love to hear from somebody who's had one in a larger vehicle like my wagon, or or other vintage car that's been satisfied with how well it's cooled your larger vehicle. Now, all the systems I've found on eBay seem to use the same compressor, and so I might continue shopping there, looking for something that would might have a little higher output. Now, one thing I noticed on the charts, those compressors will have higher output at higher RPM. And if you drive that, if you have it driven by a 24-volt source, you get maximum BTU cooling from it. Well, 24 volts is common in airplanes, not so common in automobiles. So that's not really a viable option. But I'll keep looking, and I know where Vintage Air is, and I know generally what they cost. So I'll keep shopping around. If I come up with any ideas, I'll let you know. Please share any experiences you've had with Vintage Air and or the many different 12-volt compressor AC systems out there. because I still haven't written it off completely. It just it's just hard to go through the work to install that and then have, well, basically have a half-ass system that's only going to, blow cool air in your face, and the rest of the vehicle is scorching hot. All right, guys. Well, that's it for the Shade Tree Garage. I'll be back soon with more. Take care and get out and enjoy the weather.